All right, California is inching closer and closer to providing health care for all illegal immigrants, or at least the 90 or 95,000 of them known to be in California right now. The number could go higher, as could the tab on this, at about $98 million per year. Campus Reform Media Director Cabot Phillips on who's going to pick up that tab. Cabot, what are you hearing?
Well, it's absolutely going to be taxpayers. That number is expected to go higher as we find out more details, as more programs are added, which the government tends to do. And it used to be common knowledge that breaking the law was a bad thing and that there's no such thing as a free lunch. And the Democrat Party has convinced itself and many politicians and voters now that you can break certain laws if they hurt your feelings, in this case, immigration laws, and you can hand out free lunches, in this case, free health care, as long as there are taxpayers there to foot the bill. And the ironic thing here is this is just going to further exacerbate the problem of illegal immigration. It's going to incentivize more of it in the future. Think about it. If you're in another country and you see what happens when you come here the wrong way, you see the benefits you get, healthcare benefits, welfare benefits, why in the world would you take the time to come here the right way? This is going to create more of a problem. And there's absolutely room for moderation on immigration, but policies like this make that moderation harder because it just drives the starting conversation further to the fringes.
I always would bother me on a story that's on the right or the left. They could start morphing the language and not have us think that we've heard them morphing the language. For example, there was a Democratic sponsor that's saying, we have to remind the rest of the country here in California we're pro-immigrant. Well, we're all pro-immigrants, but we're pro-legal immigrants. And when this Senator Holly Mitchell went on record to say that California believes that health is a fundamental right, yeah, you're right, it is a fundamental right if you want to argue that for citizens of this country, not for those who are not. I just think no one even hears the distinction anymore between citizens and non-citizens, between those who get here the legal way and those here the illegal way, as if it's morphed into a whole new language.
The left has done a concerted effort to modify that language, where they're saying illegal immigrant is now offensive. We must use the phrase undocumented immigrant and things of that nature to try
or just call them immigrants. Just call them immigrants and leave it generic.
And I think just calling people that are here illegally immigrants and assuming they're U.S. citizens is insulting to people that have done the right way, that have waited, that have taken their time to actually come here and become citizens the right way. And it'd be one thing if California were swimming in extra money and they're just trying to find out programs to throw money towards because they have so much of it. This is a state that's going bankrupt, a state that has lost 6 million people in the last decade because of high tax burdens for policies like this. So it almost makes it even worse. Go through the streets of Los Angeles, San Francisco. You're going to see thousands of homeless people, many of them homeless veterans. Why don't we have programs like this that are trying to alleviate that, as opposed to programs that are benefiting people that aren't even American citizens in the first place?
And a lot of those Californians paying into this to support it don't have health care themselves. So I don't know. It just seems like no one is raising that big distinction here. But it is sadly what it is. But it looks like it has good chance for passage, right?
It absolutely does, and I don't think there's going to be enough votes to stop it. And also, I think this is going to be something that plays into 2020. This is going to be an election where I think the left is going to have to go as far to the left as possible on immigration to win over their base to win the primary. And so I think you're going to see more and more candidates feeling that pressure to come out and support legislation like this for fear of not being able to win the primary if they don't. But I think plenty of average Americans, it's going to hurt those candidates in the general, whoever does come out of it, because plenty of average Americans can see a problem without making a distinction between legal and illegal immigrants. And I do think that social pressure is very powerful. So many people don't want to be called anti-immigrant, even though they're just anti-illegal immigration.
Doesn't matter.
But it's been thrown into the same boat, and I think that social pressure plays a large role in getting people to go along with this.
No, I think you're right, Cabot, but we're sticklers for getting the wording exactly right. And if you are pro helping illegal immigrants, that's fine, but make sure you put illegal in there and make sure that you're sticking to that, because it gets a little weird. Cabot, thank you.
Appreciate it, Neil.
All right. It looked like a slam dunk on paper, and certainly to shareholders, even though it's at value, at fair value, those stocks right now. Raytheon and United Technologies want to merge to become one of the biggest defense contractors on the planet. Everything hunky-dory until we got word that the president is concerned. After this.